Hello, and a very warm welcome. Driver ratings for the Japanese Grand Prix. All 20 drivers covered as we rate them out of 10 for their weekend. Red Bull win the Constructors, and McLaren have a double podium. Let's jump into it, starting with the Constructors champions. Max 10. It was a perfect weekend for Max. Special pole lap, miles ahead of the rest of the field, race win, domination, and he won the race by 20 seconds. He could have easily. It's almost like he's not even trying. Sergio Perez 0. He qualified 5th, and then what a shit race he had. Honestly, should never drive a Formula 1 car again after yesterday. He got a penalty under the safety car. Slam dunk. You can't overtake under the safety car. People thought it was going out the pits. It was actually coming into the pits. He overtook someone. Then he hit Magnussen at the hairpin and he retires. And then he came back out, retires. He is shit. Charles Leclerc 9. He had a very strong weekend. Carlos Sainz has been on top of him lately, but qualified 4th, and Charles finished 4th, so a very strong weekend for Charles. Yeah, he finished 4th, so yeah, very strong weekend. He's been under pressure, and yeah, for me, he had a great weekend. Carlos Sainz 7, the man in form, qualified 6th, behind Charles all weekend, and he finished 6th. Fernando Alonso 5. Yeah, P10 in qualifying, and then he finished the race 8th. And we saw the first signs of Alonso getting angry. We know Alonso has a short fuse, and we saw that on the radio. Famous rants by Alonso, GP2 engine. Well, he was like, strategy, you've hung me out to dry here. Lance Stroll 3. Now, Lance qualified 17th, retires in the race. He's not performing at a high level. Disaster of a weekend. A rear wing issue. Now, Lance would have scored points if not for that issue, but yeah, not good enough. Lewis Hamilton 6. Now, got quite spicy between the two Mercedes. Qualified 7th, big battles with George, and he finished 5th. George put a lovely move in the last corner. Lewis re-overtook him with DRS. And then George tried a move going into Spoon. Lewis kind of nudged him off. But it was quite spicy. I'm liking that they're allowing their drivers to race. George Russell 5. Bit of a standard weekend for George. Qualified 8th. Finished 7th. Was basically tried the one stop, had some great battles. He put a lovely move on Lewis. If that one had just stuck, it would have been a lovely move. Arguably overtake of the month. McLaren F1 with a double podium. 10s up, 10s all round. Lando Norris 10. Qualified 3rd, finished 2nd, outstanding. A double podium for the team. But once again, Norris got very angry at stages in the race. Oscar was ahead. Lando was catching him very fast. They were on the same tyre. And Lando got very angry with the team. He's like, what are you doing? Let me through and all this. I suppose Lando was faster at that stage. Oscar Piastri, 10. Finally, this guy has a bit of luck and gets a podium. A deserved podium. He qualified P2, outstanding, the real deal, first podium in F1. But a big weakness of Oscar seems to be his tyre wear. As for example, when Lando was saying, let me through, he should have been they were on the same tyres, so technically Lando was faster at that stage when Oscar should have been able to keep Lando behind. Great weekend for McLaren now. Alfa Romeo, Pontage, Valtteri Bottas 5. qualified 16th, and then it's 3 into 1 doesn't go at the start, and Alpine nudges across into Bottas. Bottas budges Albon, and then he has to pit. And yeah, it went for a move round the outside of Logan Sargeant. Sargeant's all locked up, slams Bottas into the gravel. Yeah, a bit of a horror race for Bottas. Guan Yu Zhou 5, Mr. I Don't Set the World on Fire, qualifies 19th, picked up damage on lap 1 and finished 13th. Esteban Ocon 6, qualified 14th, got a puncture on lap 1, he went for the one stop, and yeah, I think he finished 9th. Gasly 6, he crashed in practice 2 at the second Degner, qualified 12th, but he was very angry, very angry at the end, Gasly. I don't know what Alpine did on the last lap, but he was very angry. Did they switch the cars? He was very angry in his media interview. 1-8, the home favourite, a home race for 1-1. He qualified 9th, finished 12th. He had an epic battle with Liam Lawson on the first lap. But yeah, there's only 15 finishers. AlphaTauri really should be scoring points. These are the days they have to capitalise. Liam Lawson 9. Liam Lawson should have had a seat for 2024, and he's being robbed. He qualified 11th, deserves a seat in 2024. He's beat Yuki. The battle on lap 1 just showed. He proved a point there, Liam Lawson. You're not going to give me a contract for 24. I'll show you why you should have given me a contract. Kevin Magnussen 6. Qualified 15th. Was doing quite well in the race, but then a kamikaze move by that Mexican shithouse at the hairpin. Yeah, we saw contact between Bottas and Sargeant. Well, Perez went for a dive, spun Magnussen round, and that ruined his race. Hulkenberg 5, a very average weekend for Hulk. Qualified 18th, finished 14th, and they're waiting for their big upgrade, which I think comes in America. Last but not least, Williams. Alex Albon 5, qualified 13th, and then retired due to damage from lap 1. Yeah, 3 into 1 didn't go. The Alpine into Bottas, Bottas into Albon. And then to top it off, Logan Sargeant 0-0-0. Him and Sergio Perez should never drive in Formula 1 again after this weekend. And I did a video about Logan Sargeant. He's shit, drop him. And people got on the defensive about this guy. Well, I'd love to know how they're going to defend him after this weekend. He qualifies last. Then, Bottas goes for the move round the outside. He locks up, smashes into Bottas, retires, and Williams, honestly, they have no ambition if they're going to keep him as their driver. They've got a decent driver in Alex Albon. They need to get a second driver in there and sort this mess, because Logan is not going to score points all season because he's shit. So there we have it. Japan driver ratings. Comment down below your ratings. And yeah, I didn't think the race was an epic, but Japan is an epic circuit. Adios. I think we'll be covering Liam Lawson tomorrow.